work, the reward is imminent. And if I see somebody that did the work, I'm putting them in the front for everybody else to know that they did the work. Whether you like their work or don't like their work had nothing to do with me. I'm just want us to overcome the obstacle we was faced with when they came and tried to tell us they brought us on slave ships in chains and shackles and they can't produce a slave ship. Right? They said that we from Africa, but we was already here when they got here. So how do they know where we came from? Right? They uncovered my village that we all left from to fight Gullah Wars. But when we left our villages to fight in the Gullah Wars and the Island Wars, right? The Brazilian Wars, the Argentine Wars, when we left our village, as soon as we get a 30 million of us that's over here, as they say, I think it's more of us than that. To not participate in their system, it's over with for them. The game is over. We won. Our people just don't understand that the gig is up. The imposters got caught with the hand in the cookie jar. Now I'm chopping off their arms. They got caught with the hand in the cookie jar. Right? So, by telling the people who did the work, I ain't doing nothing wrong. By showing them where to find the people that did the work, that's not doing nothing wrong. Now, when somebody is willing to talk to me, I'm willing to talk to them. I ain't ducking nobody. Because sometimes you got to have a conversation with people for them to even feel you out. Right? Some people get mad because they not me. And then they attack me later. I don't care. I'm still going to do the work. I don't care how many naysayers come, how many detractors and people come to tear you down. I'm expecting that. The obstacle is the way.
Disregard anything they told you they done to you and do what you was going to do anyway and use your own culture. But he found out that a lot of us didn't understand the mechanics of running an empire, building an empire. So he had to show us from scratch. Right? Go to images. You know why he had that hat made right there that he wearing?
This one right here?
Yeah. There's a story behind that hat.
All right, drop it. Make it look like that same hat. Go ahead.
If you look, when you go to his writings, you're going to run into him talking about where is the big hats, the man in our culture for the big affairs.
Uh-huh.
Right? If you look at the hat, you see feathers on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the hat that's under the feathers, that's George Washington's hat.
Go ahead.
Okay, now go back to George Washington. George Washington sailed across the Delaware.
Okay.
Right? In the establishing of the colonies as the United States of America. Ain't that what they told us?
Yeah, that's what they said.
And that he was fighting on the Hudson Bay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right? So when you pull up the picture of him on the Delaware, just put in George Washington, there go the hat right there.
Yeah, this hat. The Buccaneers. They call it the Buccaneers niggas, man.
Okay, the reason Garvey did that is because that symbolizes if we use the crown chakra, no matter what they try to put on our head, the feather's gonna come through.
That's right. Go ahead.
Right? So you gotta remember, Garvey walked the land the same time Noble Drew Ali did.
Okay, go ahead. That's deep.
Elijah Muhammad walked the land with both of them.
Okay.
Now, go back to Noble Drew Ali, and he telling us, I went into the secret societies and I put it all in the public domain. That's what he said, right?
Yep.
But who was the vehicle to transport the information that was required to get into the public domain?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So when we're talking about UNIA, United Negro Improvement Association, we study Garvey, who gave us an alternative view of Pan-Africanism. Right? So from the Liberia movement, right? From the Liberia movement. Pull up Liberia.
Okay.
When they was trying to convince our ancestors way back then that we came on ships and that we should go back to Africa, America set up a colony in Africa called Liberia, the Lone Star State on the motherland. Why did they do that? That's a Lone Star State over here, ain't it?
Yeah.
And the Lone Star State over here, their liberation is tied to the liberation of Liberia. Meaning that the people who was native in Texas was the primary tribes they was forcing to go to Liberia. Right? That's why it looked like an American flag.
That's right. It looked just like the Texas flag, really.
Well, Texas just got a star on it.
Yeah.
Right? But the name, the Lone Star State, that means whatever it was. Okay, so now what they did is they gave us a unmistakable link to Africa and over here.
Go ahead.
In a more modern time to match what was done when they was transporting from one part of the land to the other. Now you gotta remember, the whole goal is to trick us into thinking we didn't come from here.
That's right. That's right.
Right? And all of these elders are all understanding that we miseducated. Right? So remember when I did the book club, I was talking about the confraternity.
Yep, that's right. The confraternity.
Right. Okay, now, when you thinking about magic in the mind,
okay,
for one of the chiefs to write a sentence in a book and put it on the shelf, and another chief 100 years later pull that book off the shelf, read that one sentence, and they know what's going on. They immediately unlock all of everything they see now makes sense. So this form of magic is how ancestors speak to the children in the future. It's also talking to yourself. You're going to come back. So what kind of message do you leave that allows you to maximize your life when you come back?
Okay.
Right. So we getting into now the building of the community and the restoring of the mind, because that's the only thing that says it's a mind trap.
Right. Right.
Right. To unlock the mind trap is to unlock your God self. Right. So if you type in this quote,
you got it. Drop it.
The quote is, be yourself, accept your own. Which brings us to the second part of the discussion in the title. There's still a third part, but the third part is the straight bump off the two.
That's
which means it's the Nubian connection. Yes.
There you go. That's fire right there, bro. Appreciate that.
Okay, now he telling you more than just that sentence.
Yeah.
What system was we under when that was written? We was under the American jurisdiction of the constitutional government, right? That's who we thought was the government on the land. If we accept our own and be ourselves, it's going to force us to self-govern. And we about to get to the first to two of the most important parts of activating your higher conscious powers. All right, now.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
If you start studying how things affect you, and then you look into nature by looking in the tribes around the world, and then you'll start to remember, right? You start to activate. The first principle that everybody don't want to talk about to magic is something called discipline. Do you watch the step show from Saber's Day?
Do it.
Pull up the winner of the just pull up the kids. I love to watch the kids do it because they out cold. The children's Savior's Day step winner. I'm gonna break down some shit right here. This is about to get into some good shit right here. I'm gonna like this part.
Hey, so it's like New Wapian children.
It was FOI. They
Okay,
was
I
drilling.
forgot you. Okay. Okay, that's what it is. That's why I'm missing. FOI steppers.
Might want to pull it up on YouTube and you can
Oh,
see
that's
them
what it is.
stepping.
Okay, let me do it. Copy.
The comics was being put out by intelligence community in order to spread the story in an exaggerated format and us to not take it seriously.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So now, the X-Men Academy, and what is an X-Men? Well, we know X symbolizes the unknown in math. We know that X is
Okay.
the third from the last letter in the alphabet, the symbol for the unknown. We know that Elijah said the last name was unknown to the people, so he gave them an X.
Right.
And if you have multiple people with a first name, you put a number in front of your X. So now you've been tied to numerology, then you've been tied to name science, right? So understanding that the X is representative in the secret societies of the X chromosome of the mother. Mason mean mom's son, right? And my son is the son that came off the motherland and became her right hand man.
That's right.
Right?
Well, Law just said.
As the right hand man of the mother, he's going to be the protector of the family in the future if he's raised correctly. So now, it's something that the X chromosome is most important because it controls. Hold up.
I'm gonna pull up for you. I got you.
Now, it's the thing that is, this has 60% more genetic information than the Y chromosome.
Okay.
We know we can get the lesser amount from the greater amount, mathematically and scientifically speaking.
Yep.
You can't get the greater amount from the lesser amount. So if there's more information on the X chromosome, right, than it is on the Y, that means that the Y had to come from the X.
Right.
Right. Now, if you pull up the Y chromosome, you'll discover that it's an X, and one part of it is retarded. It's an atrophied appendage. It's drawn up.
Right here. You go wow.
It's a penis in cold water. But that's not what it looked like.
No, hold on. Let me find a good one. Hold up. Let me go back. It's gotta be. Can't find my
Go to Google and type in actual Y chromosome.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead. I got you.
So when we talk about X-Men powers, the secret to the X-Men powers is to pair with somebody that can activate the rest of your Y chromosome. Okay, now zoom in on it. It's a retarded X.
Yeah, it's bad. Let's go. I'm blowing it up though. Here we go, right here. Yeah. There we go. This is the Y. It looked like a balled up.
So all four on this one, it looked like all four of the legs of the X is atrophy. Right? Type in atrophy. Show them what atrophy means.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, back up.
That's the secret to magic we're going into now at the root.
Yeah, you got it. Hold up, man. What's going on with this joint?
So these are metaphysical equations being translated in 3D data bytes for us to be able to control it, because the more we understand it, the better we can control it.
Back to Google. It says atrophy. That's what you said.
Yeah. Just type that word in, atrophy. Atrophy.
Says of body tissue or an organ waste away, especially as a result of the generation of cells, and are becoming
Okay, go
less.
to images and see if you have a chart so it could give you an example. Because
Yeah.
some people learn better with the visuals.
Oh, it's like a certain muscle in the
It's any muscle.
the
Underuse make it
yeah.
wither away.
Okay, yeah. So it could be any like it's like one of the muscles if you I guess lift stuff or something. I don't know. Can't really tell.
No, if you don't exercise the muscle, it withers away.
This particular muscle right here, right?
Right. The same apply at the
Okay.
cellular level to smaller portions of the body.
Yeah, this fire, right?
So when you look at the X chromosome, the Y chromosome is an X that's not fully. It doesn't have all of the genetic material. How do you know this? You can type it in Google. What percentage of what's the genetic differences between Y and X chromosome, or which holds the most genetic information? This ain't even no secret. That's all this easy shit to discover.
Yeah,
But
right.
you don't never put it together that it's the secret to magic, because you never understand what is. It's a unified field theory. We operating in a hologram, so all parts of the hologram is the same as the whole. So everything we understand on the microcosm helps us to understand the macrocosm.
Yes, is a 5 times larger than the Y, and it has 10 times the number of genetics. Yeah, so
10
it says
times the number of genes.
yeah.
So now this
And
is the
it
transferring of genetic information from parent to child. It says that the Y chromosome and it says it's 5 times larger than the Y chromosome and has 10 times the number of genes. So you can't get a Y, you can't get an X from a Y because the Y doesn't have enough genetic information. So
yep.
this is a derivative. The Y is the derivative of the X. Right now, there's something that comes along with that gives you what's called the key to the matrix.
Yep.
You ready?
Go ahead.
Type in mitochondria.
Oh yeah, you already know. You already know.
It's MITO.
Yeah, I got it. You already know.
Now what did it say? Mitochondria is the clear chromosome found inside cellular organisms called mitochondria. Located in the cytoplasm, mitochondria are the site of the cell's energy production. See what it say right there? What do it
Yeah.
produce? Energy.
Metabolism functions. Okay,
It
well, yeah,
produces
energy
just the
production.
energy
Yeah,
production
that's right.
and other metabolic function. Metabolic
Yep.
means to consume and transfer energy.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you can't get that from your daddy.
Go ahead.
You can only get it from your mother. And this is how you can't never take earth from the women.
That's right.
Because this right here is found in its free radical form in the dirt of the earth. right?
That
But
right here.
it's not what is it's synced to the women. The women on the earth forms an earth grid, right?
Okay.
All right, say the mitochondrial cell picture. We're gonna come back to this.
All right.
So all this is science, it's physics, metaphysics, quantum physics. It's basic education, it's sex education, it's human education. All this come into this one little understanding right here,
Okay.
right?
Yep. Go ahead.
So the mitochondria is the power source. Pull up Earth grid. This is what make each woman be like a Tesla coil.
Which one you want?
You see that? Okay, get this. Let's go. The second from the right there, with the red writing
This
on
one
it.
right here.
Yeah, yeah. That's close enough for what I want to show. Okay, every intersection you see on there, it's a woman
Okay.
that's a matriarch holding that position.
Go
The
ahead. Explain.
transfer of the energy is based on the fear love ratio. So type in fear versus love and then watch the image that come up.
Which one you want?
I don't see it.
Maybe I need to type.
Put behind it energy difference.
All right.
Okay, scroll down some. You gotta be on here somewhere. There you
Yeah.
go.
Here you go. Right here. Yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
Right. That's a bit.
Okay, now when they become matriarchs and they start
I'm
creating
doing
more
that.
matriarchs, this is the field. Remember we were talking about the field that they march in, and as you learn to control it, you can be able to expand your own. This is your accumulated spirit energy,
Okay.
right? You either want it, it's either expansive or restrictive based on the love ratio.
I'm gonna blow it up for you. It is right. There you go. Right there. Oh yeah. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe heads every time. I'm telling you, man. Here we go. Right here. Right.
Okay, so now at each one of those points on the grid you seen stand a woman. If you keep her energy level low, what did you just do?
Here.
This is the same way that she communicating